If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that I know nothing.
Welcome to the MMA for March podcast with your hosts, Andy and Ethan.
Welcome back, guys. Another episode, another week. We're back again.
Minasan yokozo.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Andy's back.
Andy's back.
Tell your friends. Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? Yeah. So anyway, UFC San Antonio. We had a friend there live. Angel was there. Wasn't reporting, but he was there reporting in a sense, the chat group, his experience. So at first it kind of seemed like this card was going to be a bust. I think everybody thought that. Let's all be honest. Besides the main event, I mean, the whole card kind of looked like dog shit. Can we agree? Yeah. I mean, they gutted it. It was a phenomenal card like 2 months ago. And then somehow in between there, they've, Russian espionage the card and whittled it down. And just
then 3 fights got lost in a week.
Yeah. So we're starting off there, but that's where we're at. You know what I mean? But it wind up turning to be pretty fucking good card.
You watched most of it live, didn't you?
I did. I watched some of the prelims and stuff, and there was a lot of finishes, and it was just exciting fights. You know what I mean? It wasn't what you thought it would be. Which two things you always when a card like that, everybody always says this shit 9 out of 10 times. It's fucking not. And then you know what I mean. The other thing is your expectation is it to be shit, so then it's not. And you're like, oh, it's a pretty good card. So I don't know how much that affected.
It's easy to meet a low bar. The expectations of a low bar.
Yeah, the live viewing of it, that's how it felt. Of course, being at the show itself,
it's always fun. Well, you know what? I can't say that because I've been fortunate with all my shows for the most part to have like really solid shows or really like have like fights that are really anticipated. But there's lulls when you're there live where it's like, all right, you're good. And the first fight, second fight, doesn't matter if they're shitty fights because you're there live. Midway through, if you start hitting a patch of decisions or not much action, it's a lull. It's like,
it's like halfway through a baseball game.
How many more fights do we have? 5 more fights?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like at a baseball game, like when you're like at the 3rd or the 4th inning and it's not really that exciting, maybe it's like 2-3 or something. You're just like looking at your phone.
2-3 is not a bad score in baseball. If it's like
1-1, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
It's like 0-0, unless the guy's striking out everybody.
0-0. I'm fucking leaving, dude.
If it's 0-0,
I'm not there at the 4th inning. Like, I'm not there. You couldn't convince me to stay.
Who last baseball game you went to?
I brought my kids to a college game a few months ago. We went. There was our school did it. They had tickets and stuff, and so we went down there and did a collegiate game. It's like the Fresno Colonels, some shit. I don't know, dude. But we had fun. The kids had fun. They had our own little spot. Like there wasn't a whole lot of people there because it was during the week, and so they had like the full like minor league show. You know what I mean? They had like the guy come out, they had a dude come out, they had all the students go down and dance, and so they had a lot of stuff for the kids, you know what I mean? But I had my little one, so I was kind of keeping up with them. My wife was running around with the big kids, and then they did lunch. It was cool. They gave everybody like 3,000 hot dogs. So it was a lot of kids. It was like 3,000 kids. It was a fuck ton of kids. The first time I've been in a stadium like
I was the MC, I would have been like, oh, so all you broke motherfuckers couldn't afford daycare, so you brought your kids here.
Yeah, that's right. He did. Actually, there was a guy who came out and did like MC it, and he did try some jokes. And they fucking landed flat, bro. It was just not good. He was like, y'all know what I'm saying? And the crowd was just like,
cricket.
Yeah, bro. He was like, all right, I'll get you next time. And he just was like, I'll give it to him. He was professional the whole time.
Guys, here's my best Brendan Schaub rookie impression.
And then he won. You know what happened? He won the crowd over because he started calling the kids up for the competition. And like as he was calling the kids up, the crowd was like, You know what I mean? That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I couldn't be an MC. I'd be making fun of those little kids. Like, look, a little Junior. Little Junior, he looks a little special.
No,
Little Junior hit a homer. Ooh, Little Junior.
Yeah, you'd be making fun of kids, and we'd have to get you out of there real quick.
Basically.
Yeah.
The fucking old school cane.
The
big old cane on the stage. Yank.
Yeah. You're Anyway,
back to the car.
Back to the car, dude. Fucking it was one hell of a show. It really was. Like, especially the co-main, the main event. I know when we were talking, you know, I was kind of like, well, the co-main was something, but yeah, you know, it was a lot of Holly dominating, which can be a little bit of I don't know, not to say expected, but just when it starts happening, you know what I mean? You're just like, oh, this is what she kind of does in fights. She just kind of bully people, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we all enjoy Holly the kickboxer. Let's get to the main event, and we can talk.
But she wasn't the kickboxer, so yeah, that was the part. That was the part that was not entertaining.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. But yeah, we don't have a super long show for you guys tonight. We'll talk about the main event. Like I said, we'll go over the whole. We'll go over the main the main card. We're probably not going to jump into the prelims too much.
No.
We got some title fights coming up.
Yeah,
we got some news to talk about, and
I get to talk to Andy a little bit about boxing, because that's what I spent my Saturday watching, was boxing.
Right. We're gonna talk about some boxing. Caleb Plant,
one of the origins of combat sports.
Yeah, well, not the current form of boxing, right? Queensberry.
Yeah, well, I mean, boxing.
Queensberry rules.
Boxing.
So what? Gypsy King's gonna fight your daughter. So what he's gonna fight you? He's gonna get you, man. I saw a fucking promo he cut on Usyk the other day.
I want Usyk to win.
I fucking laughed so hard. He's like, "You bum fucking dosser. Sign the contract. Don't sign it. Fuck the queen." You know what I mean? And it was just like, I was like, "God damn, dude. How do you not fucking?"
Who gave Tyson Fury the coke? Fuck.
Yeah, straight up. Who gave Tyson Fury the fucking anti-fentanyl, bro? Like, he's straight up,
bro.
You know what I mean? That's what they should call coke, anti-fentanyl. You know. So, or not. Just call it cocaine. Whatever.
White girl, white.
Whatever Colombia prefers. What do they call it in Colombia? Still cocaine? They call it powder and all the cool names they have it here.
Okay, it's a Spanish
cocaine. Yeah. Oh, well, obviously, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, booger sugar, white girl, white.
All right, now we getting that Florida education.
Yeah, you know, all my friends are fucking druggies, dude. I've never touched it, but all my friends.
You clean as a whistle. You know,
bro, what I mean? I'll never forget the first time.
Now.
I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody do coke. It was in my house. It was fucking. I threw a party, bro, and like I was so fucking like shit faced. Like literally, like my friends are like they did some lines. Like 3 of my friends did lines, and they just started like rapping. Started doing like the fucking shit on the table, like trying to make a beat and start rapping. And like my head is like on the table, dude. Like after like 15 minutes,
and they were like, check this out.
Yeah, they're like, bro. No, they're like, bro. They're like, oh. They're like, bro, have some. You'll wake up. And I was like, nah, I'm good, dude. I'm good. I put my head down. They started banging the table. Within 15 minutes, bro, I ran to my sink to projectile vomit in my sink because that's how fucked up I was. It was like, that was a wild fucking night. Dude. That was a wild fucking night.
Some people really like it, though. You know what I mean? So, St. Patrick's Day, some people drink beer. Some people do cocaine.
That's John Jones.
You know what I mean? Shout out Theo Vaughn. So, but let's get back to this main event here, because the main event is where we'll start. Corey Sandhagan versus Cheeto Vera. I mean, did
not expect this at all.
Well, we should have. In honesty,
I did not. Cheeto was on such a roll.
It's because we're such fan favorites of Cheeto, though. We got blinded by the Cheeto madness, dude.
Oh, I mean, Sandhagan's always been a beast. No one ever
exactly. He's always been a fucking
Corey Sandhagan. Corey Sandhagan is a perennial contender.
That's what we did
at this point. Well, we didn't review this card, but I didn't expect it. I expected it to be a very back and forth battle. I expected it to I expected Cheeto to try and bring this into like kind of a war fight, especially in the build-up in the final week. There was a tension and shit. What the fuck was that?
Cookies.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I expected it to kind of be a war. I expected Cheeto and all the shit talk that transpired during the week to fucking like make it into like an actual back and forth battle. I expected Sandhagan at some point to try and definitely do his takedowns, and he did do his takedowns, but no, like you said, it didn't happen. You had a clean sweep for Sandhagan.
On the rounds?
Yeah.
Who the fuck didn't?
I gave Cheeto the third, barely.
Are you you're out of your fucking mind like Big John? I mean, like
Big Dan. No, I'm
like
not Big Dan. I'm not Big Dan who scored the fight for Cheeto completely. That made no sense at all.
Okay.
That made no sense at all. I only gave him the third round. And that was barely. Barely. Well, in the first couple rounds, first round he got completely dominated. Second, Cheeto, throughout the early rounds, Cheeto couldn't get his timing. He couldn't get a real like hold of Sandhagen. Sandhagen was moving, he was hitting, he was changing levels. Everything he was doing was very quick, very precise. He basically knew what he was going to do ahead of time. Like he knew his next move. He would do something and he knew his next move as soon as he did his prior move. And that was, I think, the tail of the first couple rounds.
Frustrating him.
He was frustrating. It was very frustrating him.
Cheeto is a move forward. He's a technical guy, but
yeah,
he's also a shot for shot guy.
Yeah.
And I think look, guys fight Sandhagen and they're definitely like
yeah, Sandhagen he's shifty. Sandhagen is very shifty,
and they'll fucking knock you out and end your fucking night like that, and you won't.
He's got all the tools. He's got power. He's got technical technical skills on the ground.
I did not think he'd have the grappling prowess as much as he did. He must have definitely trained up a lot for this camp,
especially knowing that Cheeto was going to come with you would imagine with forward pressure and his technical boxing. Like you expected Sandhagen, you should have expected Sandhagen to try and go for those takedowns eventually, especially if things weren't going his way. He could level that up because he was always going to be ahead in terms of that level compared to Cheeto.
Yeah.
Cheeto's no slouch on the ground. He's not a bum, but Sandhagen was always going to have that edge on the ground game. And not only did he dominate on the ground game.
No.
What?
I disagree.
What?
Before this, we did not think that Sandhagen was going to fucking dominate on the ground.
No, I did not say dominate, but I would have anticipated that he would definitely go for takedowns and succeed in those takedowns.
Really?
And the question would have been what it was.
He's never demonstrated that much before. And Cheeto clearly has demonstrated in the past he has superior grappling and fucking submission skills. He just didn't use them
at all.
He didn't use them at all.
He was very one-dimensional. Cheeto was a very one-dimensional fighter in this fight.
I think he was shocked. I think he was taken back by Sandhagen. Sandhagen immediately was giving him the movements, and he was just like, I've seen this before with fucking Dom. Dom is fucking out of his prime. If Cheeto would have seen Dom 10 years ago, Dom would have fucked his ass up.
Yeah, it would have been a rout.
We all know this.
It would have been a rout.
With Sandhagen, very similar. Sandhagen's almost like a hybrid between Dom and TJ Dillashaw. And it's
he doesn't have that movement. I don't think he has that movement. He has very shifty movement, but he doesn't have that like dancing movement. He's not like
need it.
He's not.
That's why
that level
but he hides it like a traditionalist. He hides it like he's moving traditionally, but
it looks very traditional. That's why I said I was like,
look at his footwork. I've watched some videos where they like analyze how he moves, and it is very similar to TJ Dillashaw, where the only difference is like you said, that there's less cardio base for sure because there's not as much kicking off points from different points of the squared circle. So it's a little different than him not doing that, but he's still doing very similar things. And I think Cheeto was kind of shocked by that.
You know what? Also,
he fucking went for the takedown. That definitely rattled Cheeto. And it seemed like he did not come out of that rattling until, like you said, the third round. Although, like I said, I still didn't.
He was more aggressive in the third round. He landed more shots in the third round. He adapted better. He adapted better to Sandhagen's offense in that third round. And I think also
I can't give him the third round simply because he was better in the third round than he was in all 5 rounds.
No, but listen, truth be told, I think Sandhagen took that round off. I think he used it to try and compose himself, see where he was at. Took the round a little bit easy.
Peppered him with counters and shit, bub. I mean, he tried to take him down, and he
that's why I said I think Cheeto barely won. I think Cheeto barely won that round. So if you gave him round 3, makes sense.
I mean, hey, it's fine if you want to give him that round. It doesn't really matter.
It didn't matter.
Murdered in all the other fucking rounds.
Yeah, he got dominated.
I mean, he got murdered, dude.
Yeah. Well, the final 10 seconds of the fight, he actually showed up. If he had done that,
I love that.
Those final 10 seconds, if he had done that earlier in the fight, it would have been way more competitive.
It's in pride, and even if it was pride, 10 seconds wouldn't fucking matter. Everyone keeps bringing that shit up, and it don't fucking matter, dude. 10 seconds at the end of a fight, good for you. Oh, who cares? No one, and not the judges.
So
it's up. I'll give you the perfect all the MMA media is jumping over there. If he fought the last 10 seconds,
I'll give you the perfect example. I'll give you the perfect example. Just happened last week with fucking what's his face with goddamn it, Gaethje and Fiziev, right? It was a dominant fight, right, by Gaethje, especially in the second and third rounds. Clearly dominated, right?
Well, totally
but those final 10 seconds when Fizzy was coming at him and he was coming back at him, then he hit him with a takedown in the final 10 seconds. That was an exclamation point. Did it matter in the grand scheme of things? Probably not. But that was a clear exclamation point on the type of fight that was.
But that could have. No, I disagree with you, because that could have definitely mattered in the grand scheme of things had the fight been scored closer, as it was very appeared to be very close. So that could have mattered.
No, I think by the third round,
Cheeto did that in the last 10 seconds so he could go to sleep that night. That's fucking why he did that shit.
He wanted to show his heart. He's like, I can't go out looking like a bitch.
I've never seen him fight like that, and I'm sure he'll be fine. He'll be coming back. He might. Who knows? We don't know. He could have had something going on personally, or like I said, Sandhagan mesmerizes some of these guys, dude. And Cheeto, and like you said, yeah, he's not just good. He's stellar. I mean, he's
even in his
top
losses,
3 guy all the time.
Even in his losses, he's so competitive, and he's always in the game.
If you noticed, anytime Cheeto, see, I don't want to take away all everything from Cheeto. He definitely did give attempts, but in the certain amount of times, especially in the first and the second round, where Cheeto did try to almost kind of like, he was almost like fainting a little bit. He was almost trying to kind of like see what Sandhagan would give him. Yeah. Sandhagan was starting to throw that goddamn flying knee like a fucking
he hit him with several good
hair trigger, bro.
Yeah, he hit him.
And I think that was making Cheeto think, man, I can't get crazy with this guy.
No,
this
you
guy
can't. You're gonna get caught.
But that's the only way to fight a guy like that. It really is. The only way Cheeto could have won this fight was to bulldog his way and frustrate Sandhagan and make him go off of that technical game, which at no point he did, besides a little bit in the third round.
No, Sandhagan did really well. To your point about TJ Dillashaw, he did really well with angles, right? When he was really good at it. So well with his angles. Cheeto as you said, he was very not stationary, but he was linear. Cheeto was very linear in his fight while Sandhagan was using his angles, and that definitely contributed to it. I chuckled at the result. They said the winner of Corey Sandhagan versus Marlon Vera is Sugar Sean O'Malley. And they showed the things. They're like, oh, due to the Cheetos win, they reversed his loss, and he's still undefeated. Those made me chuckle. But no, it was a masterful performance by Sandhagan. Sandhagan called out Dagashvili at the end of the fight. I mean, it sucks that it sucks the whole situation with fucking Aljo, dude, because it's like if Aljo wasn't in the picture, like that would be a fantastic world title fight.
It's the same thing as DC and fucking Kane years ago.
Yeah, it is
similar.
It is. I agree. I think everybody and their mother is rooting for Henry Cejudo just because of the fact that the top is so clogged with Aljo there. And I think Aljo and Sandhagan would be a great matchup if he does manage to get past it. But no one is disputing that I think Dagashvili is the clear-cut number 1 in the division and who deserves the title shot next based off of the way that things have played out. But as long as Aljo's champion, if he manages to beat Cejudo, A, that's a great feather in his cap. But B, the division is still, kind of stuck. You're going to basically keep leapfrogging Dagashvili just because of the fact that he has his friend as a champion for maybe 1 or 2 more fights, and he's supposedly going to vacate, move up in weight, which I don't think is going to go very well for him if he moves up in weight to 155.
I don't think he's the one who should move up in weight. Let's play fucking cut the line real quick, right? Let's say we take Dagashvili and throw him against who? Who am I thinking?
I got to pull the division up.
The great. Put him against the champion. That wrestling. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of curious.
Really against Makhachev?
Oh, dude, not 155, 145.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at 135, 145.
Alexander the Great, dude. Put him up against the Great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Volkanovski has a better striking game, and he's proven that 100%. He can. He's got a better striking game, and he's proven that
he can that fucking grappling game.
I'm looking at the people that are.
If you look at all the was bigger, I'd say go and challenge Islam, you fucking pussy.
Oh, bro, yeah, that's true, right? If he was,
but he's not. So
no, I agree with your point to the fact that the top 5 doesn't have the wrestling pedigree that Dagashvili has.
There's no wrestling pedigree.
The best wrestler in the best wrestler in the top 5. The best wrestler in the top 5 right now is Brian Ortega. If you're being besides Volk.
Well, and that's why Henry Cejudo, that's why a lot of people are like, well, Cejudo's crazy for calling out Alexander. It's like, no, he's not, dude. He has better wrestling than Volkanovski.
Yeah, he's better. He has better wrestling.
Now, we've seen Volkanovski the thing that this is the one thing that you got to give Volkanovski, and that's why he's got to be considered among the like, to me, like up until this point, I've always kind of, but this almost cements him into being in the argument as the greatest featherweights of all time. The fact that he took Islam's wrestling, weaponized it in almost some parts, and was able to still come up with a comprehensive defense plan of not just holy fucking shit when he fought Makachev. I'm
thinking, when the fuck did that happen?
It
happened like a few months
ago.
When
he fought Makachev, he came up, he was one of the only guys we've seen up against this Dagestani Russian style wrestling, this sambo based wrestling that has been able to weaponize themselves while they're in the defense and also have some success in the offense against these guys. He's one of the only guys that you can point to in the modern times that I know of.
Yeah, no, I would agree. He stayed very active. He stayed very active in the guard. He was always being shifty on bottom.
Bro, he did things that Islam did never has seen in a fight. He did things Khabib never saw in a fight. Straight up. You know what I mean? So you got to give Volkanovski that. So you can't that's why I can't say like I just want to see it. I just want to see it.
It would be a great matchup. It would be, especially because Davidovich is so durable. It would not. I don't think Volkanovski would put him out. He could probably pepper him and due to accumulation, especially if he's able to stuff. If he's able to stuff Davidovich's takedowns and he keeps it 100% on the ground, I could see that being an accumulation, perhaps maybe an accumulation stoppage. I don't think so, but I think Davidovich would probably look like fucking hamburger meat.
Yeah,
So, but it is an intriguing fight. I agree.
I just got a new segment idea. We should do a John Fitch of the week. Every week we rate who's the John Fitch of the UFC right now. who's the guy getting the most shit? Who's getting fucked out of a title? Who's supposed to be getting one? I can think of two guys right now. We'll come back to this at the end of the show. We'll come back to this. Remind me.
Oh God.
Remind me. But going back to the fight, it just overall, it was just Sandhagen's night, dude. You know what I mean? It just was his night, and I hope he goes on. I respect what he's saying about not wanting to fight for the title. The only thing I got to say about that, it really ain't fucking up to these guys at all. I mean, you see what's going on with Dana and Leon Edwards right now. It doesn't matter. These guys cannot want to fight for the title, want to fight for the title. It's clearly that the only way you're going to get a title shot is to, fucking win for 5 years or, become very interesting. So,
because Dana wants the guys who always like knockout. He wants Anderson Silva.
It's not just
Anderson Silva's like finished.
Yeah, he wants guys who are like fucking like popular. He wants dudes who are like selling pay-per-views and selling fucking fights.
You want somebody as popular as Conor with the finishing the finishing rate of Anderson Silva with the style of John Jones.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's
it was Izzy before he hit the top. It was Izzy before he hit the top, and then Izzy slowed down. He started
to talk about Izzy. To me, Izzy is literally, besides Ngannou, maybe the most underappreciated champion, and also too like he's like just been so disrespected by the fucking UFC.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say overrated for a second. I was gonna be like, really?
No, I just said he's literally one of the most underrated champions of all time.
Yeah.
And he's like as far as like I feel like as far as thrown under the bus by the promotion.
Yeah,
like you couldn't fucking like he hasn't been done to more of a guy since Ngannou. Maybe I'm fucking a little dramatic on that, but still,
I just thought about it. We got to. No, do we? No, we don't. I was gonna say, do we have to preview this? No, it's next week. We're previewing.
It's next week.
Yeah.
So anyway, any more thoughts on the fight?
No, it was. I mean, it was still a worthwhile fight to watch, but I just didn't expect that level of dominance by Sandhagen. I would have picked Sandhagen to win, but not that comprehensively.
It definitely made for more of a lackluster main event, that's for sure. You know what I mean? But I don't think that's on Sandhagen. I think it's on Cheeto. Cheeto was just, like I said, dude, Cheeto was just stuck in first gear, dude. He never got out of first gear.
Yeah.
He showed up. He popped the clutch a couple times. But
what's next for Cheeto?
I don't know, dude. Cheeto's got
he's down to 5. Do you want to see him against Piotr? I think that would be a good fight, him and Jan.
Yeah, sure. Well, because it'll really tell us where Jan's at, but I think we know where Jan's at.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, you know what everybody really wants? Everybody wants Sean O'Malley to lose at some point so that way they could face him and Marlon in the rematch.
Well, it's only because Sean O'Malley really only fought the fucking only like a guy like worth his fighting like for the first time in the UFC, his last fight.
Yeah. Well, no, Vera was kind of there, but yeah, the first real serious test.
Yeah, he lost to Vera
via a broken leg or a broken ankle.
He was losing the fight before.
It was still was the main event, was it not?
Yeah, I believe so.
Plenty of time.
He's Dana's favorite boy, so I'm sure it was. I'm just saying, like the guy, he's another one of these examples where the UFC is pushing him because is he that good, or is he that popular?
No, they're capitalizing on
pushing him because he's popular, dude.
They're capitalizing on because he's his audience is the similar audience as like the Jake Pauls, Logan Pauls, that type of
exactly.
That's what they're trying to capitalize on.
Right. He's got a big pocket. I get that. And he captures the MMA crowd and all this, and he crosses over to the Rainbow fan base. I get it, but at the same time, it's just like the guy's skills. Him beating Jan. It's like, yeah, okay, all right, okay, we see you. But you didn't beat Jan, by the way. You lost that fucking fight. Let's remember that. Okay.
29-28.
He actually lost the fucking fight. We all know this. He won the fight. Controversial decision. Judges were drunk, smoking crack, whatever. We ragged on him for forever, and everyone else did.
Yeah, it's 29-28.
But he's gonna run away with that. Like, I beat Jan. So that's why it's like one of these things where it's just like, dude, fuck Sean O'Malley. I don't know what he does next, and I don't care because it's like, to me, I don't know what the guy could even.
He's holding out for a title shot. He's holding out to see what happens with Aljo.
Is he holding out for a title shot to get fucking flatlined though? You know what I'm screaming?
Maybe.
Probably. Patty.
Sandhagen, I think Sandhagen takes him. Davishvili takes him.
I think Vera takes. Yeah, I think a lot.
No, I don't know if Vera takes him at this stage. Depending if we get the Marlon Vera that faced Corey Sandhagen, no. If we get the Marlon Vera that faced like Dom Cruz,
Corey Sandhagen is Corey Sandhagen's evil cousin. He is coming for you. Yeah, dude, listen, but don't judge Cheeto by it. Don't judge a book by its last fight. You know better than that. Cheeto is a much more complete fighter than that. Like I said, if you actually watch the fight, there was one point of the fight where Trevor Whitman was just like, "Are you all right?" to Cheeto.
Not Trevor Whitman. It was Jason Carrillo.
Nope, it's Trevor Whitman.
It was not Trevor. Trevor Whitman was not Cheeto Vera's cornerman.
Oh, you're right. I'm fucked up. Who is it? It's not fucking.
It was Carrillo. I just said that. Literally, he's like, you're starting to bum me out. Don't bum me out. It was Jason Carrillo.
Jason Perillo. I was like, dude, that doesn't sound right to me. But you got the
I got the ego right. It definitely wasn't Trevor fucking Whitman. That's for goddamn sure. That didn't come out of my mouth.
My bad, dude. Wrong coach who gets happy when there's fiters lose.
That's why we have 0 viewers right now, because you just fucked that up.
We've had 0 viewers for a minute. So anyway, God damn it, got me off. Yeah. Jason Perillo at one point even said, a couple times he was like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And Jason Perillo's got those 2 modes where he goes fucking George St. Pierre, or not George St. Pierre. He goes fucking Jackson. He goes fucking Greg Jackson on your ass, or he goes like that where he goes dad mode on your ass. He's just "Hey buddy, how's it going? All right, champ." You know what I mean? Like, you used to do that with Bisping a lot, because Bisping's like kind of an alpha.
You can't blame the corner work for that loss. I think
no, absolutely. They were trying to wake his ass up all the time.
And that's what happened in that third round when Cheeto, when he turned it up and he managed to, in my opinion, win the round. In that conversation, he's like, "Tell me, what are you seeing? What are you seeing?" And him and what's it called? And Vera and Perillo had like a back and forth in regards.
Yeah, and I mean,
he's like, "All right, you see you see something, you see an opening, go exploit that.
Yeah,
take advantage of that." And that's when he became more aggressive, push forward.
I don't know, man. Yeah. Like you said, Perillo a couple of times, he was just like, they were back and forth. He was just like, you see it, and Vera was like, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about." You know what I mean? And it was just like,
I gave him the third round. Perillo was like, dude, he's like, that was a close round. Don't know how the judges are scoring it. They might have given it to him. Like, that was real. I thought they won the round, and he's saying that. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, but you don't want to, you know what I mean?
Oh, of course not.
Like I said, nobody else thought he won that round. So
even one judge did. He won 49-46 on one of the cards.
Yeah, well, one judge also gave him the whole fight. So
don't know what the fuck Big Dan was.
What ref gave him the whole fight? In the middle of the card, literally, I'm seeing Big Dan fucking, I love how they got Big John and then Big Dan. But they got Big Dan, and he's in there, they're all big. And he's just reffing the fight. And I'm just like, I'm like texting the group. I was like, "Hey, who fucking ref that fucking fucking decision?" Like, I'm seeing fucking Big Dan here, fucking he's here. Like, what the fuck, dude? So anyway, it was odd. Anyway, okay, moving on. Co-main event. women's bantamweight division. Holly Holm versus Yana Santos.
Ran over her.
I mean, it was literally like Sandhagan saw her performance and was just like, I can do that. You know, I can try. I'm going to try to do that. You know what I mean? Because like she just
I made the joke that her husband did better against John Jones than she did against Holly Holm.
Right. And then I made the joke about, you know, she did better with John Jones than her husband probably realizes. But anyway, Santos is definitely not a slouch. You know what I mean? Wow. And she was doing pretty good right before this. So
the first opening moments of the fight, I thought
Holly Holm came in like a wrecking ball and just fucking.
I thought the first couple minutes of the fight,
bro. What should I do? Should I get fucking naked? Like what the fuck, dude? Getting like where is everybody?
I mean, it's midnight over in the.
I showed nip. I mean, like yeah. I mean,
it's midnight on the East Coast, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, what'd you think?
No, like I said, I think the first couple minutes of the fight were fairly close. I thought round 1 was her best round of the fight. She got they were in the clinch early to mid in the first round. She was able to break away from that, try and reestablish herself. And I was like, okay, there's some potential here. She's defending. But one of the things I noticed that she kept lunging, she kept throwing, like she just kept winging punches, kind of like just throwing them out there, like they were landing just air, right? And Holm was using her movement to try and get around that. And then once she got her off her game, then when Holly Holm reset, that's when she was able to kind of like work herself back into the guard, work herself back into those takedown opportunities, you know, using her typical Holly Holm weapons, you know, the same Jackson Wink weapons, you know, side kicks for fucking jabs, you know, using her reach and her length.
Kicks for jabs, baby.
Yeah, you know, so I mean, that's how she got in there. And then
real quick.
And then when she took her down, she just exerted fucking dominance on the ground, dude. Wicked elbows, fucking maintaining the fucking control on the ground, staying close. Yeah. She moved fairly freely, you know. She went from fucking guard, she went from side control into the guard. Fucking, I remember Michael Bisping pointed out several times, like the arm is there. The arm is just begging to be fucking wrenched. She didn't want to do that. She just wanted to keep her down, pin her down, ground and pound her a little bit. She just wanted to really assert that dominance. Yeah. And Santos just couldn't find anything. At the end of the round, they would reset. Same thing, right? Early on, like, all right,
I was waiting for Holly to just
Holm would get in. Holm would take her down.
I was just waiting for her to just be like, you have to give up. I deserve this. You have to give. I deserve title shot. Dana, I deserve title shot.
That was after the second round. The second round, she almost put her out.
I honestly, I was waiting for the Khabib impression to come out. I was like, dude, is this Khabib versus Michael Johnson?
In the second round, if she got the real dominant position with about maybe like 25 seconds or 30 seconds to go in the round, if she had like another minute and a half, that fight would have been stopped in the second round. That's how dominant she was in that second round. Third round, same thing. Fucking Santos couldn't find her range. Got taken down. Couldn't do shit. That was the key. The key difference was Holly Holm using her superior grappling and her superior ability with her legs to get in order to create the grappling exchange, and then Santos just couldn't do anything to try and fend that off or try and reestablish herself to get back up in proper time. So it's fairly straightforward. It was just pure dominance from Holm.
Yeah, it was pure dominance, and you know it's weird, like because you've seen a ton of examples throughout MMA, UFC history of wrestlers fall in love with their striking. They fall in love with the big right hand. Chuck Liddell, Johnny Hendricks, Anthony Johnson. I mean, a lot of the knockout guys that are famous in the UFC were wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them, a lot of the boxers were fucking boxing. And so like, but Holly Holm is one of those weird ones where I feel like she definitely has taken to be a student of grappling in the last like 5-6 years. And obviously is improving tremendously. Yeah. And she is in an odd way falling out of love with her striking and falling in love with fucking grappling. Yeah. And I hate it. I gotta say I fucking hate it because I really miss her fucking exciting fucking kickboxing, and I honestly
nobody wanted to see her on the ground against Ronda Rousey.
Dude, and I didn't expect that. I thought we were gonna see a fucking slug out. I thought Santos was gonna be fucking sleeping on the fucking ground like Rousey, and it just didn't happen. And it was just this kind of like, I know Angel said like the crowd loved it, because they're big Holly Holm fans there, you know what I mean? And I get it, you know what I mean? She's a big mark, but it's still at the same time, it's like I'm saying, it's one of those things. Is just like, where is she going in her career? I don't even know. And is all this grappling to try to fight somebody like Amanda Nunes, to try to fight one of these females who are like grappling?
I think it's literally to fight Juliana Pena.
And that's what I'm saying. Juliana Pena, one of these females, one of these top female elite grapplers, you know what I mean? Like, to deal with it, maybe that's the thing. But I gotta say, having a fucking field day over fucking Yana Santos and having a field day over fucking having a wrestling match with fucking sorry, who'd you just mention? Pena. With Juliana Pena, that's a whole different ball of wax. That's a whole different bag of cookies. It's two different worlds. Yeah, whole different bag of candy, as somebody might say. And that whole thing is just, that's just, yeah. So yeah, that's all I really got to say about the co-main. Yeah. I don't really feel.
I mean, like you said, what's next for home now?
I don't know.
She has faced and beat Raquel Pennington, has she not? Because Raquel Pennington's ahead of her, and so is Juliana Pena.
At this point, what's next for Holly Holm? It's almost like I almost feel like, because she doesn't call nobody out or whatever. Like, I almost just feel like
she wants to talk about the sexualization of children.
Yeah, whatever. That's the other thing too. She fucking ruined the end of her fucking shit by saying some bullshit. It's like, dude, just shut the fuck up and just call out a fight. But since she made me not interested in any fucking thing else she's doing, it's up
the rankings didn't move at all. The rankings were updated earlier today,
especially in her division. It doesn't mean shit. But now it's on the UFC to fucking tell me why I should even watch her next fight, like, just straight up. So
the only, you know what I think would be,
and I feel like there's probably a lot of UFC fans who are like that. It's like, dude,
okay. You have Pena, who she.
What's the point of her beating Yana Santos? Yana Santos is an up and comer.
She's only fighting, and all the other women that are below her but are above Santos are all up and comers, specifically Aldana and Vera.
Dude, if I'm the UFC, I'm like, Holly Holm, like, you better fucking start fucking winning some fucking championship fights. You're gonna go fucking fight for Bellator or one, dude. Like,
oh yeah. And she, I would love to see her.
I just don't know why we keep certain people around and then we don't keep other people around. Why? You keep fucking people like Sam Alvey around. You keep people like Holly Holm around, but then you fucking let go.
Everyone loves Sam Alvey.
No, not everyone does. He's not that exciting of a fighter. He smiles a lot. Okay,
that's charisma.
He's not that good.
It's marketability.
No, it's not. With who? Who the fuck knows Sam Alvey? Nobody.
We know him, but
yeah, bro. Of course we know. Yeah, we know Sam Alvey. We know who fucking, who Rachmaninoff is.
For real, right? Dude, you see the picture of him and Dana?
Yeah.
Fucking massive, bro.
He's big. Big dude. We'll talk about that too. All right, moving on. Next fight, excuse me. In the featherweight division. We Nate Landauer versus Austin Lingo. And
this was surprising because Lingo did fantastic in round one. He had him up several times against the cage. He kept bouncing him off the cage basically, and I think it was just probably due more to what's his dick. Forget his name now. Son of a bitch.
This was a real he had it. He had everything in the first round, like momentum, everything, bro. And it was one of those where just in the corner, everything changed. The second round came out, dude.
Oh yeah,
Landauer was just like,
it was a night and day fight.
My hairline ain't going home tonight.
It was a night and day fight. It was a big night and day fight.
He came out. Hey, that dude is definitely on some.
He pieced him up around two. He pieced him up around two for sure.
And Nate Landauer guy, huh? That guy's definitely on some fucking something, huh?
I didn't know much about him prior to the fight, if I'm being frank.
Yeah. Well, if I'm being frank, that guy's on some fucking steroids. But fucking yeah, dude. Austin Lingo, but Nate Landauer in the second round, dude.
You know what it looks like? Landauer looks like the less racist Bryce Mitchell. Right?
He does.
He looks like the guy. Like, I have a black friend.
Yeah.
Mitchell don't look like his black friends.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. He really does. He really does look like the less racist.
He looks like the less racist Bryce Mitchell.
That's fucking great. But yeah, dude, it was just like I said, it was, and he got the performance of the night too. So
makes sense. Well, he had to come back. Like I said, Lingo was dominating round one. His boxing was clear as day. What the? Why is Alexa playing music?
Nice.
I didn't mention Alexa's name at all. Okay, it's not playing music, but that was weird. Anyway, yeah, Lingo was doing great with his boxing. He was great with his boxing. He was fucking punching him first. He ate a couple counters, but he was never phased in the first round. Kept pushing forward. This was Lingo's first fight, they said, since August of 2021. He was out for all 2022 due to hip and ankle injuries. So in that opening round, he looked great. Looked like he hadn't really missed a step. And then, like you said, after the corner work and in between the rounds, it's like fucking Landwehr was a fucking whole new person, bro. Same thing. He was first. He was catching him. He was busting him up. He was slipping more.
Like he snuck in the USADA approved inhaler. You know what I mean? He snuck in the
Let me put the cream on him.
Might have put the cream on him, might have put some Vass on him, a little bit of lean.
Some special Vass, some special Vass, bro.
Special Vass, get a little bit of that oh damn, what's his name? What's the dude who used the fucking inhaler in the UFC?
I thought you were gonna say Barry Bonds with the cream.
Nah. I'm talking about dude who's just like, give me an inhaler. Dude, you saw it approved, right? Remember fucking what's his name? Dude who just got knocked out in fucking bare knuckle. He ain't in. He was dude who came over from NFL. He's all fucking
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy, yeah, the fucking Greg Hardy fucking inhaler. You saw it approved. I was thinking of that the other day. I was like, bro, what a fucking.
All right, so serious question: why
fucking corner?
If you have documented asthma, why can't you use an inhaler?
Because it's a fucking dude. Then okay, if you got documented, then other things, then why can't you use painkillers or something like that during a fight? You got documented fucking like neck surgery or spinal cord. Why can't you use Percocet before a fight?
Why can't you use one before a fight?
Bro, what do you mean? Okay, I was like, oh, hold on, you got me, dude. No, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah. I because you definitely, if you're gonna, that's like when they did like, we'll allow fucking medical exemptions for testosterone. Okay,
we missed those.
Everyone was like, okay, Uberim, Vitor.
TRT Victor was the fucking motherfucker.
Here, by the way, can we clear this up? TRT Vitor, by the way, is on TRT and 50 other fucking additives. Okay.
And his fight coming up. For his fight coming up.
It's not just TRT.
Are we gonna watch? No. I feel
like back in the day, that wasn't just TRT. Dude,
I low key feel
that was an excuse to fucking use steroids.
I low key feel like fucking we should watch that card. It's a pay per view, so we'll have to pay for it unless you watch a legal stream.
I'm not paying for anything like that.
Do you know the card I'm talking about?
No, but I'm not paying for it.
I'm gonna read it to you. Give me 2 seconds.
I already know this.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna read this shit to you right now. This happened. This is coming up Saturday. This is a boxing fight coming up Saturday.
Definitely not paying for it.
It is boxing specifically. Where is it? Here it is. April 1st. No, it's April 1st. So this is Friday. So Friday, right? Fucking no, it is Saturday. It's Saturday. Roy Jones versus Anthony Pettis. 6-round heavyweight fight.
Oh, that fucking card.
That card. Vitor Belfort versus
I take back everything I said. Yeah, we should watch it.
Bro, Vitor Belfort versus Jacare Souza.
I'm not paying for it, but I'm gonna watch
Jose Aldo versus Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
6-round heavyweight fight.
100% I'm fucking watching that. Is UFC even on this weekend?
Bro. No.
Yeah, good. Because
Pearl Gonzalez is fighting. Bywin is fighting. Fucking Joe Riggs is fighting. It's like they got like all these UFC castaways to fucking come box.
No, for real. Wait, you mean Benavidez?
Yeah, B-Win.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Oh no, never mind. This is a woman. I'm not thinking of Ben Win. I was thinking Ben Win.
Win is a female fighter who used to be in UFC. She's in one now, or she was in one.
Oh well, she's fighting. Yeah, B-Win.
Nice. No, she actually went to BKFC, I think.
Yeah,
she's fighting Pearl?
No, Pearl's facing Gina Mazzani.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It really is a fucking UFC castaway.
It's a UFC fucking castaway pay-per-view, bro.
Hey, Jose Aldo is not on castaway terms, though, okay?
No, he's not. He's a Hall of Famer now.
Yeah.
He's our Belfort's Hall of Famer.
Retireweight terms. Yeah.
All
right.
We should watch that.
We should watch that. We will. We definitely will.
All right.
I don't know if we'll do a watch party, but
I'm busy. No, I can't watch it. I have to watch it on like same thing Monday or Tuesday now.
Well, I'm working Saturdays, so I don't know if I'll be
WrestleMania weekend, baby.
Huh?
It's WrestleMania weekend this weekend.
Oh, right. I didn't know. Now I know.
The more you know.
The more you know. Ding. All right, moving on. Next
I did not
fight.
watch this fight. I didn't watch the fight.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Macy Barber.
Oh no, I saw the Macy Barber fight. I'm thinking of the fight before that.
I was gonna say, I thought you did watch this fight, but all right.
I did watch.
Andrea Lee versus Macy Barber. This one was a damn barn burner.
It was a great fight.
This was a great fight.
This is the antithesis of whenever I talk shit about women's hosts, dude. When I talk shit about women's MMA, I think more of like Holly Holm and fucking Yana Santos than I do about Macy Barber and fucking.
Really? Yeah, that was a good fight. I mean, even though it may have been boring, that was a fucking fantastic technical grappling.
It was good. So
those were two guys.
As a fan of technical fucking mixed martial arts, you're right. It was fantastic. As like a average Joe fan, meh. This fight was a barn burner, like you said.
Fantastic.
Slobber knocker.
However, the actual meat contents of the fight kind of got overshadowed by the decision. Because Macy Barber somehow won the fight, and it didn't, to me.
It's not even the fact that she won the fight. It's the fact that
it was a split decision.
The third card was a 30-27. How in God's green creation did you give Macy Barber the first round?
Is that Dan? Is that Big Dan?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm gonna find out. Keep talking.
Yeah, you gave Macy Barber the fucking first round. Macy, that was out of all the rounds that fucking in that fight, that was the clearest round that Macy Barber fucking lost. She was on her back foot the majority of the time. Yeah, she clipped her a couple times, and as a encompassing fight, why I'm not saying it's an egregious ripoff is the fact that she had a more what's it called, power punches. She had more power strikes, significant strikes. That's what I'm looking for. She had more significant strikes than Lee. Lee did fantastic with her takedowns. She went 5 for 5 on takedowns. Managed to do a little bit of something, even though for a couple of the takedowns, Barber got up fairly quickly. She still managed to keep that control time. So if you're going based off of pure MMA scoring, you know, it becomes a factor. Do you count the significant strikes or do you count the control time on the ground? I thought Lee also was doing great on the feet. She was never once out of it. She was never once really rocked. I mean,
you're not gonna fucking believe this. It was fucking Big Dan. It was fucking Big Dan gave Barber 30-27. Every other judge 29-28.
28. Either way, I can understand that because round 2 was close, right? Round 2 was close for me.
He gave all fucking rounds 10-9 fucking Barber.
Yeah, there's no way in hell you can give her the first round.
Fucking dude, that's
no way. There was no way in hell you can get Macy Barber the first round.
Catch being slipped under this dude's fucking shoe. I don't fucking get that. I just don't get that kind of shit. This is a guy. There's no fucking excuse for this. This is a dude who's a veteran ref. He knows what the fuck he's looking at.
Yeah.
Does he not?
He should.
So either he's not looking at the fight in reality, he's doing something else. He's looking at porn. He's doing something on his phone. He's not looking at the fight, or he's simply judging it incorrectly on purpose. I mean, I don't know what else to draw. I don't know other conclusions to draw.
I would love to hear. When is the
I fucking understand that.
When is the
talk about interviewing refs? Why don't you interview these fucking judges after a fight?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Bring the fucking judges out of the booth. Hey, come over here for a second, Mr. Judge, Mr. Officiator, and fucking ask him why did you fucking give this?
What did you see to give it 30-27? That made
no Dan Mergliotta. I'm ashamed to fucking even ref after I fucking. Hey, I don't know what the fuck. Does this have something to do with now the refs can't fucking do more than one gig a night or whatever? You got Dan pulling double fucking shifts for being a ref and a judge?
I'm very, the Texas Commission the Texas Commission is a fairly large.
Oh, that's right. This is Texas. I keep forgetting we're in Texas. It all makes sense. Fuck Texas, dude. Just a shit commission overall. Can we say, hey, Texas, you're up there with Japan, with Russia, and the Middle East, okay? You might as well fucking just have the same commissions. In fact, you know what? What's Australia's commission? Way fucking better than you guys. Way fucking better than you guys. New York. I'll go to New fucking York any day than I'll go to Texas, dude. That makes no fucking sense. At least not every fighter got screwed on this, but definitely Angela Lee did.
Yeah, Angela Lee. You know something? If you would have given 29-28 Barber, it's not the worst decision ever because of the fact that, again, round 2 was and round 3 were specifically fights where it was like the first half was Barber, the second half was Lee, right? It was the significant strikes Barber was landing against the takedowns and the control Lee had. And Lee again was throwing. To me, I think Lee won the fight because Lee, not only did she have the control time and the takedowns, but she was also throwing back against Barber. She was never once rocked. She hurt Barber. She made Barber bleed a little bit, so she landed some effective shots of her own. So I don't see truly where she lost the fight per se. Barber was a tough cookie, tough out. She was always in the fight herself. She was never really truly in danger. So if you value the significant strikes more, I can understand you giving her 29-28 because of rounds 2 and 3 in the first half of those rounds. But for the most part, it was a clear dominating round in round 1 for Lee. I don't understand how you could give Barber that round.
Yeah, I don't either. Doesn't make any sense, but
not really.
That's what it is, man. So moving on. All right, next fight. Last fight we'll talk about middleweight. In the middleweight division, it was Cheeto Njokuani versus
I didn't see that fight. Yeah, it's fight.
Versus Albert Derev. Honestly, it wasn't much of a fight, you know. There wasn't much to it really wasn't that much to talk about. There was just kind of a split. It wasn't much back and forth. I honestly thought that Njokuani won the fight, but they gave it to Derev. You know what I mean? So I'm sure
you don't want to talk about Pineda and Lutz, because that was actually the opening fight of the card.
Well, I didn't mean to say I was going to jump to that next, but yeah.
Okay. You said this is the last fight we're talking about in the card.
I know. I forgot. I forgot that they were on there.
Okay.
But yeah. So anyway, don't go back and watch the Derev versus Njokuani fight. Let's just be honest about it. So you guys can skip that fight. And then, in the featherweight division, Daniel Pineda versus Tucker Lutz. That was a fucking excellent fight.
It was a good fight. Very good fight.
It was a very excellent fight. It was kind of wasn't a super back and forth. It was kind of like two guys. Basically, what happened was two guys from the prelims. You know, these guys were on the prelims. They got upgraded.
They got bumped up because of Alex.
Right. So, and they definitely delivered for the opening fight of the card.
It was a very good fight.
Ending in submission in round 2.
Yeah,
halfway through round 2.
Which I thought was interesting because, again, I felt like that was kind of like a MO of the show. Like, first half of the fight was always the opposite fighter, and then the second half of the fight, the other person dominated. Like, I thought Lutz was landing early in round 1. So in particular, Lutz was landing very clearly in round 1, and it was up to fucking Pineda to fucking adapt to that, and he did adapt to that. He adapted pretty well to close the round. That was a 50-50 round, in my opinion. It was a very hard round for me to kind of think of scoring, and then the opening few seconds of round 2 was kind of the same, and then Pineda was able to shift and adapt, and then he was able to land those shots, and he was able to land them more consistently, and then he managed to get him on the ground, and then he fucking got him real nice with that fucking choke.
Yeah, like real nice. He was over.
Deserved.
So, yeah. But so that pretty much covers UFC San Antonio. Like I said, there was some fights on the prelims. CJ Figueira versus Daniel Lacerda ended in TKO, I believe, in the first round.
Yeah,
like a minute in, and so that was a real good fight. The other fights were just pretty much lackluster. They all ended in decisions or split decisions. A lot of split decisions. So sounds like there's a lot of Big Dan judging all over this fucking card. So yeah, thanks, Big Dan. But yeah, that wraps up UFC San Antonio.
Not bad. Not the worst card ever.
Not the worst card ever. Like I said, it does definitely bring up the issues of judging. You know what I mean? The issues of where we're running into.
It's just too inconsistent. It's just too weight cutting is an inconsistent matter. Weight cutting is the number 1 issue for me in MMA. Number 2 is judging.
I think judging is first. Weight cutting is gonna have to sort itself out, and it's a big issue.
Dies
judging, bro. Yeah,
nobody's dying on a bad judging call. Someone's dying, potentially dying.
No one's dying on a bad judging call, but no one's died from the. If once someone dies, you're right. But right now, as far as the immediate thing, like another fighter, like even Sandhagan called for it. Sandhagan said there should be some kind of universal commission to kind of review what the fuck's going on around here. You know what I mean? Like,
the only way you get that is if you manage to fucking get lobbyists and you get legislative action going.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Fucking pass the fucking ABC? Oh, good luck with that. Yeah. How'd that fucking turn out? Unified unanimous rules. Okay. Yeah. Which states allow you to fucking have 3 now it's a mess. Now, where can you put fucking 3 points of contact, 4 points of contact? What's a grounded opponent? This state, this is a ground opponent. This state, it's like it was before. They had everything where it was like that before.
It's like I feel like the only unified rule is you can't eye gouge, you can't fucking dick kick anybody.
Sure, there's a couple of those, universal laws, don't murder. But yeah,
no soccer kicks in America.
No soccer kicks in America, unless you're one. But
cannot wait.
But yeah, that's
speaking of one, Sage Northcutt they said now he's coming back for his first fight in like 3 years.
Is he fighting Cosmo Alexander?
No, he's not.
Jesus,
I don't know who he's fighting, but fuck.
I'm scared for him. I'm scared for him to come back.
If he loses by a bad knockout, he should definitely just.
It's not like any of the guys in one have just like calmed down,
Not at all. Not at all. I feel like it's gonna be like Sage Northcutt in the opening bout against some fucking Colorado jobber.
He's probably gonna go up against some fucking Russian jobber, dude. Some fucking guy who's gonna murder him.
Is there such thing as a Russian jobber? Artem Lobov? Sorry, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say what? Yeah. Sure there is. We can find him. Okay.
What do you want to talk about now?
A little bit of news, Colby Covington. We talk about this Colby Covington thing. Oh, wait, hold on. What did we talk about earlier? We were gonna do. I said we're gonna come back and do
John Fitch of the week.
The John Fitch of the week. Let's talk about the John Fitch of the week. My John Fitch of the week, and I gotta say, I think it goes without saying, but my John Fitch of the week is Bilal Muhammad.
You took it off my fucking
the name who shall not be remembered. And the reason is the reason why he's the John Fitch of the week is because he's clearly the guy who should probably be getting the next title shot in the middleweight division. In the welterweight division. And he isn't because he's not popular. No one knows who he is. No one remembers his name. Everyone remembers Colby Covington's name.
Yep.
And so that's a big. My runner-up though is Mr. Dariush. Gotta say, you know what I mean? Because he's right there, but just because he's not fresh, hot off the press, I got to give it to my man Bilal. He's definitely the John Fitch of the week. So congratulations, Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah. Took mine off mine, so don't point me fucking giving.
Yeah, I was to say we'll have a joined a co-agreed one, but yeah, I think it'd be fun to do like once a week, just fucking switch and see who's getting fucked the most out of every division, because for sure it's happening.
Name your fight. I mean, you can't, because if it's gonna be title shots, then that doesn't really happen too often. You gotta say who's the person who got fucked the most this week.
Fuck the most, or fuck the most out of like a title opportunity, because that was basically
a big opportunity. Big opportunity.
Yeah, big opportunity. That was happening to John Fitch for like 10 fucking years. So I mean, he had an incredible run of getting fucked out of title shots.
Yeah, and then he went to fucking PFL, or it used to be World Series of Fighting, and he he got his title, and he
went to WASP.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, things worked out in the end and he went to Bellator as a champion, I believe. So he got his accolades.
Yeah, that was back when Hector Lombard was fucking the champ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. So boy. There's another thing I want to talk about too is Oliveira is calling out Beneil Dariush, and I fucking love that. Dude.
That'll be a great fight.
God, I can't wait to see that. I love that. I love that he's obviously he's calling him out. I don't mean to say it like I said it wrong. He's calling him like he's basically talking shit. He's like, I want it, dude. He's just like, I want this fucking fight.
Out of all the divisions that are clogged, that's it, because the top 5 don't move. So it's like that's the most clogged division out of the entire fucking bunch. Honestly.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done. So the fact that he wants to have some movement, and fucking Dariush can beat fucking Charlie Olives. How could you not? How could you deny him? There's my John Fitch of the week. Beneil Dariush.
There you go. Yeah. He definitely is. He's definitely like right up there. You know what I mean? So I feel like, I don't know but I think if he doesn't be careful and get himself a little more attention, Mr. Sandhagan might work himself into that position there if he doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Different division.
I know. I'm just saying he could work himself into that John Fitch of the week there if he's not careful.
Yeah.
With him just saying, well, whatever.
If you want to talk about Corey Sandhagen, it would be a great fight. I would love to see, even though he's busy, I would love to see Corey Sandhagen versus Max Holloway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, bro.
Oh, that'd be a great fight,
That'd be a fucking banger.
That'd be a good fight.
That'd be a humper, as the kids say, a humper.
Be a humdinger.
That's an older term. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I went even further.
Cock diggity.
I went back to fucking iron. I went back to OG Williger. Went back to ironing shirts on the fucking, ironing shirts and spilling coffee on women who aren't doing the dishes. So
back in my day.
Why I oughta.
My dad's still like that, dude. Like my mom fucking like I have to be home at 12 o'clock exactly so I can give my husband his lunch.
Yeah. Hey, well,
My dad always tells me that. He's like, son, you need to go. He's like, you do need to go to Japan. I was like, because I love the culture. He's like, no, because women listen to their men. That's his literal fucking words. His literal fucking words are that.
And you're like, damn. All right, Dad, I'm getting on the plane.
Right?
Where's my ticket?
I always say if I go to Japan, I'm going for a month. And if I go to Japan and I stay there for a month and I have no problems there, like it's gonna be so tough for me to want to fucking come back.
Yeah, dude. Especially if all the women listen to you.
Oh, I know, right? I gotta be able to talk.
I have a feeling it might not go that way, but hey, try it out. See what happens.
Dude, I think my it's funny because my nephew and my brother-in-law just came back from Japan and they loved it there. I think my nephew, he's not saying anything, but I think he did negotiate for a whore to fucking blow him.
Nice. Well, family secrets. On that note, let's fucking get out of here, guy.
No, I don't want to get out of here. We didn't talk. You said you want to talk about what news and notes? What other news and notes?
Well, I don't know, dude. What else you want to talk about? Oh,
I said we're going to talk about fucking boxing. That's why I said we're not getting out of here yet.
All right,
you saw the highlights, right?
Huh?
You saw the highlight video?
Yeah, I watched the video you sent me.
Tell me what you thought.
I thought,
for those who don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about the Showtime pay-per-view, which is what I did watch, highlighted by David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. A fantastic fucking fight.
Yeah,
that was a fantastic boxing fight to establish the number 2 in the middleweight division behind one Canelo Saul Alvarez.
Yeah, I thought the beginning of the fight, I thought Caleb Plant was very active
100%.
And had a lot of energy. And
100%. So you may not know, David Benavidez is always known to be a slow starter, and Caleb Plant is always known to be.
Well, he definitely started slow. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought Caleb Plant definitely. I don't want to say he out timed him. He was catching him in the beginning, but I just feel like I said, I think he had more energy and he was just committing himself to a lot more attacks than Benavidez was. But Benavidez's defense, was solid pretty much throughout the whole fight, I thought. And then like probably, rounds 3, 4, and 5 seemed like Benavidez just picked it up. Plant got tired.
Starting from 6 on all 3 judges' scorecards.
He just,
it was unanimous. It was unanimous.
He just started getting countered a lot by Benavidez.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy too, because like I said, like I know you are way more of a boxing head than I am, but it's just so crazy how so many times at the fight, like Benavidez is just literally just throwing fucking dukes up like this and just walking forward, and fucking Plant was just like trying to fucking penetrate this guard. And I'm like, you can't fucking hit those balloons, dude. Like he's fucking just like that, you know what I mean? He was
needed more body work, which is what Benavidez did. So,
but I mean, it's just like it's just so easy to underestimate like how fucking like crazy it is, like to just fucking do this and just let some guy fucking smash you or try to smash you, and then you just start fucking throwing back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just so crazy.
That's what you practice, bro. When you're in boxing,
the amount of defense.
you up against the ropes. That's why and even in combat sports, even in MMA, same thing. What do? You fucking hold your hands up. People are fucking throwing freaking what's it called, medicine balls at you. They're throwing fucking hooks at your body. You're prepping yourself, dude, so you can eat that shit and just fucking keep moving forward. There obviously the art of boxing is to hit and not get hit, but the other art of boxing is fucking being durable and getting hit and coming back and hitting harder.
Yeah.
Real reality.
Yeah, for sure. Boxing. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like boxing has that timing.
Yeah.
That give and take system, almost like professional sports does, like football and baseball does. You know what I mean? It has like that where it's like, okay, you go, okay, now I go, okay, you go, now I go, you go. You know what I mean? Like and then sometimes you do get it, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, and I feel like that's like when fucking boxing fights are like, you know what I mean? On fucking nuts. So it's just like, but that whole fight I thought was very fucking entertaining.
It was a great fight. It was a great fight. Give me a second. I'm trying to pull up the rest of the card because I do want to briefly. You didn't watch the rest of the card. I want to talk briefly about the rest of the card.
I didn't watch the rest of the card.
I know you don't watch the rest. It was a damn good card. Like one of the things that people talk about is, and rightly so, is how egregious like the pay-per-view price continue to go up, and it's like, dude,
how much was the pay-per-view?
$75. And I tell you right now,
Jesus fucking, they talking shit about the UFC. Holy,
if you and a lot of them, I'll let you know, a lot of them aren't like they're not worth it. A lot of those cards are not worth it. You may get like a good fight on that undercard, maybe.
I didn't even have to be
and then you pay for the main event. This card was a 4-fight card, and it was 100%. I thought if I would have had to pay $75 and I stood at home and watched it. There's 3 fights, 3 other fights, which I'm trying to find, and I can't fucking. They don't do it like UFC where they give you like the whole card. So I'm trying to find David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. What the fuck should I type in? Whole card.
Yeah,
let's see whole card. See if it comes down. Fight Night. I'll just look up. Those go on the fucking website. It's just
I'm looking at it right here.
On I got it.
MMA Fighting has it right here. They have the results.
I pulled it up on the PBC site, which is fine. Okay, so let's just start from the top down. As you mentioned with David Benavidez. Again, great fight. He started out slow. People anticipated he started out slow. Caleb Plant came in like a fucking rocket, basically in the first couple rounds. Benavidez, I believe, got round 3. Like you said, round 3 or round 4. He got one of those rounds, and then he proceeded to sweep on all 3 judges' scorecards the following 6 rounds. The entire second half was 100% Benavidez. And the fight kind of played out exactly if you know the 2 fighters. Benavidez starts out slow, comes in hot. Caleb Plant starts hot, normally fades. And what contributed to that fading in this particular fight was the body work specifically. Benavidez went to the body. He was headhunting. He was catching. He was countering him better. He timed him better, especially in the second half. He was working the body a lot as the fight progressed. He had him really close to getting out. I believe in the 10th round is when he had him really close to being out. But Plant, tough son of a bitch, hung in there. He was throwing back as well. So it was, again, a fantastic back and forth fight. This clearly establishes David Benavidez as number 2. And the crazy part is that he didn't call out Canelo, not because he doesn't want to fight Canelo, because he wants to fight Canelo 100%. He said it many times. The key is Canelo has so much drawing power and so much power in the sport. He said it, and rightfully so. He said it's up to Canelo to want the fight. It's up to Canelo to want the smoke, basically. Does Canelo want the smoke? Canelo doesn't really have any other options at this point. He's only going for super fights, and I believe this does establish him as a mandatory for Canelo at this stage. He defended the WBC interim title. They gave him the interim title while Canelo was doing other fights. I believe for the Bivol fight in particular. That he lost. They had crowned the interim title, and Benavidez won that in his previous fight prior to this one. So this clearly establishes him as one of the next guys up. It's up to Canelo to want that fight. I think that'll be a massive fight if they manage to make that happen. Everyone's hoping they make that happen. I really do. And I think that'll be a really good fight. Benavidez, I believe he's 26, something around those lines. So he's the young gun in this instance. But he's no slouch. He is no slouch. And I'm not saying he would. I mean, truth be told, he really should study what Bivol did. I think any fighter at this stage, if you're fighting Canelo and you have that sort of skill in terms of boxing, I think you should be studying how Bivol did it. But I do think that Bivol, in this instance, is a better boxer in terms of the skill of boxing than Benavidez. Benavidez is known for his power, known for his durability. But, you know, it's still an intriguing fight from that perspective. So that's my thought on the main event. Co-main event.
I hope he beats Canelo.
Everyone hopes it, because it's that where were you?
I thought people love Canelo.
Many people do.
Be a troll. I don't really care, but
no, I mean, many people. But I mean, Canelo's the household name.
I hope this guy wins a fight.
I mean, dude, honestly, if you want to, you should. A lot of people should root for Benavidez. Benavidez was a fat kid growing up. Benavidez early in his career got fucking suspended. He got suspended for he was a really fat kid, bro, and he found boxing and he got into shape. That's really inspiring.
All right,
and then he got suspended. And then he got suspended early in his career.
I was a fat kid too. That's why I laughed.
No, bro. He got suspended early in his career.
He caught me off guard with that one.
He took a WADA test. Got suspended early in his career for coke. And
WADA test for coke?
Yeah,
WADA.
It was like a WADA. It was WADA or WADA. It was water.
Stop acting like your fucking people don't do drugs. Stop it.
Yeah. So he got dinged for coke. He got suspended for that as a result.
Yo, have you ever seen these people who fucking work for USADA and WADA? You're like, dude, you fucking hit the vape pen as soon as you take my piss. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, he hit the vape pen, blow it in my piss.
Yeah, dude. You're like, you're fucking smoking a joint, watching you piss. Be like, yeah, so you can't do any drugs, just so you know.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I guarantee you that's what it is, bro. Guarantee you the fucking people who are going around collecting piss. Hi, baby. going around collecting piss and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're definitely on some fucking drugs.
So no, the rest of the fight card, like I said, was pretty solid. The co-main event was Jesus Ramos versus Joey Spencer. Jesus Ramos completely dominated Joey Spencer, and Joey Spencer no one expected him to win. He was a tough cookie. He got knocked down in the first round, and he just kept eating punishment. Kept eating punishment. His corner threw the towel in, I believe, in the 7th round. But he didn't quit. It was just, for the fighters, ability to survive. His father was the trainer. If
his corner threw the towel in, he kind of quit.
Well, he didn't quit, but his father wanted to save his son, which is respectable. And he wasn't going to win the fight. He was just continuing to eat shots. He couldn't find any real openings on Ramos. Ramos is undefeated now.
He's still kind of quit though.
I don't think so. I don't think, bro.
It's kind of like slicing bread a different way.
If you quit on the stool, or if you say you can't go anymore on the stool, that's quitting. But if you're in the middle of the fight just eating shots and the corner throws in the towel, it's a far more respectable than saying no mas.
What if in the corner he goes, hey, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there, dude, in like 2 minutes. Fucking this guy's like, just throwing the towel, okay? He's like, don't tell anybody I told you. He's like, I'll fucking give you half my purse. Just fucking throw in the towel for me, okay?
No, well, I mean, bro, they have the cameras in the corner, the same thing.
Yeah, totally.
You would hear that. You would hear that shit. Anyway, the big fight, the other big point. You want to talk about Big Dan, bro? You want to talk about Big Dan screw job? No, I'll tell you what.
Big Dan fucking judged on this card too?
No, he did not. Surprisingly enough, but the biggest robbery of the weekend happened in the next fight. It was fucking Chris Colbert versus fucking Jose Valenzuela. Valenzuela came to fight. It was a fairly close fight in terms of the odds, but Valenzuela came in, flash knockdown, 1.5 minutes in the first round, proceeded to pretty much dominate him. Colbert would pepper him. He would pepper him with little shots, hit him with nothing of real significance. He was making faces, trying to get himself and the crowd into it. Valenzuela just put his head down, kept throwing shots, kept backing him against the corner, hitting him with multiple combinations throughout the fight, right? Kept pushing him back. Valenzuela was the clear aggressor, kept the pace, had the ring generalship, hit him with more significant shots. Colbert didn't really do a hell of a lot. A little bit of bruising from hitting, of course, but nothing of real significance. They gave fucking Chris Colbert a unanimous fucking decision. Pure fucking robbery. It was an absolute goddamn ridiculous fucking show. Literally, I was looking at Twitter while I was looking at the fight. At the end of the fight, even all the Twitter people were like, what the fuck were these judges looking at? No way in hell Chris Colbert won. And on top of that, fucking Valenzuela, he did act a little bit like a sore loser, but he was pissed off, rightly so. He's like, you didn't win. Colbert's over there with his little medal, fucking like, like.
Are you sure Big Dan wasn't on the card? Are you sure he wasn't reffing?
Positive wasn't Big Dan.
It was right after the UFC. I bet you could have fucking just went over there.
Oh yeah, he flew to Vegas in an hour.
Was it in Vegas?
It was in Vegas.
How far? Well,
it's like 2.5 hours.
To get the Concorde out of Austin.
Bro, I don't know why did they say, was it emissions that they stopped the Concorde?
It's just stupid. It's just stupid, I think.
Bro, it's like you get from like New York to fucking London in like what, 5 hours or something?
Yeah, but they're fucking burning like fucking $100,000 worth of jet fuel to do it.
Yeah, I know, dude. I always remember as a kid when I used to live in New York, my grandparents lived near LaGuardia.
Yeah.
And
that was the age of bigism. That was like the age of like everything's got to be fucking faster, bigger, better. And then
it was late 1990s, specifically 96, 97, something along those lines.
We don't care about gas. We don't care about emissions.
I remember you hear the plane, and like
sound like you got that Blackbird,
and then you hear the fucking Concorde, and like, oh, that's a Concorde. And I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. Remember the fucking Concorde.
Yeah, the first test were breaking people's fucking windows and shit, dude.
Yeah.
It was fucking. I don't know if you ever heard if you ever seen video of a Blackbird landing or something like that, but SR-71, it's a very similar fucking sound because it's supersonic. You know what I mean? And so like, just that fucking that turbojet fucking almost noise or whatever.
Yeah, it's a guttural
it's
a guttural
but
noise from a fucking.
I don't think you got to be a fucking rocket scientist, no pun intended, to fucking be like, yeah, yo, let's yoke these fucking engines full max, yo. Like how fast we? Yeah, we'll get to London in like fucking 5 minutes. Yeah, it sounds fucking efficient. Like
the fucking,
you know what I mean? You gotta be a fucking rocket scientist to figure out, be like, dude, you guys are making it to London in 2.5 fucking hours when it normally takes fucking like 10 or 8.5 or whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, dude, no, and it's just regular fuel, you know what I mean, that they're using. It's not like I know that they use supersonic engines, but I'm pretty sure they're just using same jet fuel, or they're using fossil fuels. It's not like it was like fucking, you know, they acted like, but they did act like it was this next level of technology. They acted like it was like they were breaking the speed of light. And they acted like it was like a hyperdrive. They were like, yeah, it's limitless energy, you know?
Yeah, no.
And then, like you said, I don't know what it was, if it was that, or if it was one thing, or if the CEO fucking fucked a hooker or whatever, but they were just like, yo,
done.
Late thousands, they was like, these things are out of here. We're gone.
Yeah. It was like early 2000, right? Like 2003 or something. 2004,
yeah. Like it wasn't long, dude. They didn't even have
Google,
like a 20-year.
When was the last Concorde flight?
I think they're still doing it.
The last flight of Concorde was November 26, 2003.
That was the last flight of a Concorde, 2003.
Damn, dude, you know Google's right.
Gotta trust Google,
bro. That was
trust the Googs. You gotta trust the Googs, bro.
That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, it'll be 20 years in November. Crazy, right?
By the time my kids are my age, the Concorde will literally be almost as old as like fucking Vietnam to them.
Dude, it'll be like fucking like, oh, I remember back in my day we had the Concorde. Was that like the Hindenburg you told us about? Fucking Hindenburg, bro.
I just watched that. I actually showed my kids that probably a couple weeks ago for history, and I was showing them the because they've gone back and like taken that guy, the guy who like does the oh my goodness calamity, the worst thing I've ever seen, you know, that guy. They like extract that audio and like
same guy. I watched the video from like, I think it was like 1920 in Washington. They just built like this crazy massive fucking suspension bridge. They got hit with like 40-mile-an-hour winds and the fucking bridge just fucking collapsed. And he's like, the bridge disaster that's ever hit the United States of America.
That guy's seen the worst shit, bro. That guy had to have like severe trauma. Because he was literally
galore.
Dude, for real. He had to have like first responders trauma. Because he literally like when you like I said, I've never heard all the shit. Like I remember as a kid, like going to the library and on one of the computers, they had like the history. You could look at history of the world. And that was one of the things you could look at from like the 20s or whatever was the Hindenburg.
Oh, yeah.
And you would click on it and it would come up with this video, but you know, the audio wasn't very good. You could hear the guy kind of like, oh my goodness. Well, anyway,
I did the bridge, the Hindenburg, fucking World War II.
The bridge one. I haven't heard the bridge one, but they took the audio and they fucking remastered it. So you could really hear what he's saying. And I'm listening, I'm watching this with my kids.
It hits different.
It's so sad though.
Bro, he's
like, it's the saddest thing I've ever seen. He's crying. He's just like, I'm so sorry. He's just like, I'm beside myself. I've never seen something so. He's like describing people on fire and just these terrible things.
Bro, I can't imagine. Can you imagine?
Right? But you could hear it, like I'd never heard it before, but now you can hear like the humanity. He's like, oh, the humanity, and it's just like I almost wanted to cry, like listening to him describe it. I'm like, damn, this guy was like going through his emotions live, like he was literally like going live, like Facebook Live, and like some real shit that's happening to him in the goddamn 1920s. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like a parent talking about school shooting where their kids are at.
In a way, yeah. Jesus. But anyway,
the final fight of the night was Cody Crowley and Abel Ramos. I didn't see this fight because I was trying to go to my friend's house. It was a good fight from what I heard. Crowley did win 116, 112 on 2 cards, and I believe 115, 113 on the 3rd card. But it was a very back and forth fight. Everybody knew. Yeah, it was a very back and forth fight. It was a puncher's fight. Cody Crowley and Abel Ramos are both known for being punchers fighters. Crowley remains undefeated at 22-0. So that was a really good fight. That was a WBC title eliminator for that. So they'll move on now to either a final eliminator. I don't know what division this is. Welterweight. It's a welterweight division. So this is a 147 fight. So I don't know whether it'll be a final eliminator from there.
Finally, I will eliminate you.
I mean, you know, when you think of welterweight, you're thinking of Terrence Crawford and you're thinking of Errol Spence. Still, regardless, good fight, good card. Like I said, if you would have paid $75 for this card, you would have gotten your money's worth. And that's very rare in boxing today, where you pay that amount of money for a card and you get your money's worth. Truly.
Very rare in MMA as well. So they're catching up.
I guess.
UFC cards are not worth the squeeze these days.
No, they're not. Most
Definitely
times they're
not.
Most
Definitely
times they're not. They're worth the squeeze if you get people to help you pay for it. Or if you throw a party and people bring booze and buy food and shit.
Sure. Yeah.
That's worth it.
Well, that's different because
if you're on your own, I want to stay home and watch UFC fight. That is not a good idea.
Yeah, but 100%. Yeah, but if you're, like you said, if you're having a get together and stuff, if the fights are good, that's great. And it definitely is something everyone will talk about. But the night doesn't necessarily have to be dependent on if the fights are good or not. If the fights are shit, you can fucking do something else.
Yeah, you're still.
And people, like you said, nobody's paying fucking $75 for one person. So not everybody feels gypped.
I did that once for boxing. I bought Canelo.
I would just tell people to bring food. I would never ask.
I did that once. I really want to see this fight.
People would never do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you ask people to chip in, and unless you got like some homies that'll like Venmo,
so my homie will give me cash. I have one homie that'll bring me cash.
Most people will not fucking bring anything. But
I know one homie that
bring some food and bring your own booze. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll bring that. Yeah, 100%. I have one homie that if I say like, hey, I'm gonna split the card, you want to come through? Yeah, he'll give me actually like $20 in cash or something. But most people, I'm just like, yeah, bring a bottle, bring booze. So halfway through, they'll be like, oh, you want to order food? Yeah, all right, I'll pay for the food. Bet, no problem.
Governor's got the pay-per-view.
It even said like it even did stuff out. I bought the Usman card, right? I bought the Usman pay-per-view, and this is a couple weeks ago. I had homies over, and I bought the Usman pay-per-view. I had one person pay for 2 pizzas from Pizza Hut. It's like, okay, not the worst. I had my friend give me $20. I had somebody
$75.
I had somebody bring me a half a bottle or 3/4 of a bottle, of Patron. So for 5 people,
you bought a bottle of...
No, they brought 3/4. No, we didn't buy it. What the fuck,
bro? I thought you said I had somebody go buy me like 3/4 of a bottle of Patron. I'm like,
stole that shit for sure.
You guys selling 3/4 of bottles of liquor down there in Florida? That's how crazy y'all getting down there.
No, bro, I'd be scared if you bought the bottle and it's 3/4 fucking full,
bro.
I would.
Yeah, or I'd be scared if I went to I'd be scared if I went to I'd be terrified if I went to a store or a liquor store and they were selling and they just had a section for 3/4 of bottle of alcohol. I'd be like, yo, get me the fuck out of here right now. Like something's
eventually one day it'll be like that. There'll be an alcohol so scarce.
What
buy it, like 3/4 of it.
What's next? You're only gonna use $0.75 of a dollar to pay for it or something. I don't know.
They should bring back the $half.
Who was I talking to the other day? Somebody told me that the FBI accidentally arrested somebody because the agent and a couple other agents didn't recognize a $2 bill and they thought it was a counterfeit. Somebody was telling me the story the other day, and I haven't been able to look it up.
I have like 2 or 3. I have 2 or 3.
Goddamn! I hope it's fucking real, and I hope some fucking FBI agents were that fucking batted. And they did that, and I hope they get their asses sued off of them. You know what I mean? Because
I think I own 2 or 3 $2 bills. I own 2 or 3 different $2 bills. So every time I come across $2 bill, I'm like, oh, I'm not spending this at all. It's going in the safe.
Yeah. Yep.
So rare.
Like a podcast for us to end before 2 hours, and which looks like we're doing tonight. So short and sweet.
1:11 in the morning over here.
1:11 in the morning over there, 10:11 in the night over here. So we're gonna call it, guys. But thanks for tuning in this week. Like I said, check out UFC San Antonio. If you haven't seen it, the fights that we talked about on the card, those are the ones worth seeing. Everything else, I wouldn't waste your time.
To be honest, dude, I would tell people to check out the boxing pay-per-view before I tell them to watch UFC San Antonio. It was that exponentially better and entertaining.
Yeah, but people are not. But see, the other problem with boxing is like there's nowhere to go rewatch it. To be fair.
Yeah. Well, no, it normally airs a week after on Showtime.
Oh, on Showtime. Okay, great.
Week afterwards.
Yeah. Well, if you catch the boxing replay, you catch it. That would be great to watch too. But you can catch UFC, on ESPN Plus. So let's go check that out.
You're paying $7.99 for ESPN Plus to watch a mediocre card, or you're paying $10 to watch Showtime to watch a fabulous card.
Yeah, but most people and most of our fans already have ESPN Plus. Most of them don't have Showtime.
I'm aware. We have Showtime because of Bellator.
Right.
By the way, before we go, that's something we should bring up. You saw my post, right, about the June 16th card in Chicago?
Bitch. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's going to be so exciting, bro.
That is. I am
Pettis versus Pitbull. Pitbull have the opportunity to be a third.
I'm more excited about that than I am with Romero versus Nemkov. But only because I feel like Romero versus Nemkov is going to go one of two ways. Nemkov is going to either school his ass of what Romero thinks is wrestling, and he's going to school him on wrestling, or it's going to be one of those things where Romero is like kind of crazy for like fucking 5 seconds and then just fucking weird for like the rest of the fucking fight.
I can see that.
I guarantee you that's what's happening. I'm calling it right now.
I can see that. The third option, I guess, is like a fucking Romero one-hitter quitter, but that's the least likely of the three, if I'm being frank.
That's what I mean with the weird stuff. No. The weird stuff is when he wins. I
thought you meant weird. Like he'll be like good for like the first round, and then like 4 fights, it'll just be like weird shit.
What? No, that is what I mean. But there in those instances, that is where Romero has had those 3 to 5 second little flash fucking knockdown deals. That's where he's done that shit.
Yeah,
he's never been a guy who's come in and just completely flatlined or dominated a fight in such a fashion where everybody's like, "Oh my god!" Except for when he fought Luke Rockhold. When he fought Luke Rockhold, that was scary. But other than that, I mean, he's mainly built off of his reputation before he got to the UFC.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So, which But anyway, I'm more looking forward to Pitbull and
Pettis.
Yeah, because I feel like both of those guys hold their shine against other MMA guys all over the world.
Great fight. I think I got Pitbull.
Yeah. That's fair. And if Pitbull gets it, it'll be its third belt.
Third belt. First MMA 3-division champion, it wasn't BJ Penn a 3-division champ?
He won't be the first MMA, but he'll be the first Bellator, that's for sure.
Who was the first MMA?
I don't know. There's been, George St. Pierre, right?
No. He never fought at 55, 70, 85. That's what I said. Was it not BJ Penn? He's the only guy.
BJ Penn only had belts at 55 and 70. He never had it at 45.
He went for the title at 45 and he lost, if I recall. He definitely had a shot at a third division.
I don't know who did he fight for 45 at the title. That would have been Jose Aldo at the time. No way he fought him.
BJ Penn.
Aldo would have murdered him.
Let's look it up real quick before we disconnect. Fuck, not this one.
You go for it.
I'm looking for it right now. BJ Penn title fights. Oh no, what the fuck? Hold on, let me go back here. Title fights. 7 more rows. Cal Uno, Matt Hughes, Jeremy Stevenson. Something that I just caught on. I wish UFC would bring back the names of like the pay-per-views, not just like welcome to UFC 287.
Yeah, I'm just over the numbers, like whatever.
No, they have the numbers. They're like UFC 41 Onslaught, UFC 46 Supernatural.
I think at this point you just get rid of the
Hughes versus Penn. Meh.
Get rid of the numbers.
Rapid fire. Okay.
Something like just bring that shit back, but get rid of the numbers and just keep the numbers. Like if you want to do the numbers, do like, UFC fucking 500, UFC 525, UFC 550. You know what I mean? Like do that. Like do quarters, or just do UFC 500, UFC 600. Like stop doing. Why do we need?
I don't mind the numbers. I don't mind the
UFC 283, UFC 284, 285, 286. Oh, what's next? It's like
what? One thing I like. There's a wrestling company in London that called Progress. And they say it's chapters. They go chapter 155, and it'll come up with like a name, right? Like 155, like a Willy Wonka, like the most random shit ever. But the chapters, I like that because of history. I think
they stole that from books, dude. Books used to be how
yeah.
people learn, and so now they don't learn with books, and now they're trying to bring the chapters back. It's one of those things they do where they're just like, we're inventing something. It's just like, hold on, books.
Well, no other
that
company
first.
does that. No other company does the word chapters in their fucking shows, and I like that. So
wrestling, you mean?
In wrestling, yeah, in wrestling they do that. In wrestling, they're like, it'll be like progress 185 or chapter 185, and it'll come up with like some weird name.
I don't know, dude. I think UFC will be all right if they don't do chapters, though.
I like chapters because like it's history, and that makes sense.
You like chapters, but there's a lot of people like that like chapters.
I mean, a lot of people don't know what the fuck progress wrestling is.
Fair point.
All right, guys, let's get like
this podcast.
We're at an hour and a half. That's a pretty solid number, if you ask me.
I can't believe we made it this far. Hey, guys, catch us wherever you get your podcasts: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Google us. Google MMA for Marks podcast. You'll catch us there. Subscribe. We're here every week. Monday or Tuesday was when we record. We try to put the episode out. It comes out live, but usually Monday or Tuesday, and then the audio follows up in a few days. So we appreciate everybody who's watching right now, and everyone's going to watch the stream forward. We'll be back next week to preview UFC. Next UFC card. 288. There you go. So we'll be back to preview that, and follow us, push like, subscribes, hit, smash button, whatever your hot button words are.
What the fuck did my catches do?
You filthy animals. What do you got, Ethan?
Let's do it the proper way. Again, you can follow Andy at MMA for Marks on his social media. You can follow me on Twitter at SHOSTOPPA24. You can follow me on Instagram at podcast.senpai. All of my socials have a link tree where you can follow myself, Andy, and my other endeavors. Shout out to my boy Matt with the Talk to Kiki podcast special Wednesday edition coming tomorrow for the season finales of our anime season, winter season. Shout out to Sean at W2M Network. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for editing this show.
Sean.
Much appreciated. I'm glad he finally got his gift and he loved it. So that was a win for me and Matt since we sent it to him 3 months later. But hey, blame Crunchyroll, buddy, on that. As Andy said, Google MMA for Marks. You'll find us wherever you consume your local podcast, whether it be Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon. As Andy said, we have Twitch on W2M Network. We have YouTube on the W2M Network. If you Google W2M Network, you're liable to find us if you want to dig deeper and look for MMA for Marks. And you can check out any of the other channels and podcasts that the W2M Network does provide you guys. Let's get out of here, motherfucker. Matane!
If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that I know nothing.